All right, guys, we're discussing how to get access to direct funding for your business and how not having it could be disastrous for your business or your client's business because you'll be dealing with the clients directly. So, we're going to discover how we can help you get credit and financing, or your client to get your client credit and financing to start and grow a business. So, did you know that 90% of business owners go to the bank to get funding or financing for their business? However, only less than 1.5% of them actually get it. So this is something you have to understand to be able to deal with your clients. Now, why is that? Is because the banks need the three C's. If you've been in the financial class, you need to you need to understand the three C's. One is credit, the other is collateral, and the other is cash flow. So the consumer credit, which is the number one, means that with a good credit, with a good personal credit, you do not stand a chance to do just a good credit. I mean, you do not stand a chance to get approved by the bank. You must have a credit that is about 700 or plus. Now, knowing how we are as people, this could be a challenging scenario because majority of people do not actually have good credit, which which brings us to why we have the credit boost program, right? So this part actually plays a huge role in the business owner getting financed by the bank. Now we work with the bank, we work with the SBA, and we work with private investors. So we're talking about the bank in this scenario, right? Now, when you apply for something such as an auto loan, the lending institutions they pull your credit, right, or your client's credit, and they determine that by using your name, your address, your social security number. Now, this information is usually sent to the consumers' credit reporting agencies, right? The Equifaxes, the TransUnions, and all that. And when it's sent to them, they supply the lender, which is the bank, a credit report on the client's information relating to their name, address, and social security number. So with this type of credit, an inquiry is usually done on the client's credit to create a credit report, and that credit report is then used to get a lending decision, to lend them the money or not to lend them money. Plus, the credit you obtain will then be reported to credit reporting agencies, which is what we're talking about. Now, the number two thing that a client needs to have is collateral. So, what is a collateral? It is simply something that is pledged as a security in promise to pay back a loan with the possibility of forfeiting in case the loan is not repaid back to the lender. So this part of the process actually proves difficult for most people because they don't have a fixed asset. And most of the time, the bank requires you to have a fixed asset, like real estate property, physical property. Um, Now, we already have that. We know how to fix that because we will help the client get a key person policy. Now, an acceptable collateral using Get a Business funding is usually valued at about $10,000 and above, or twice as much as his borrower. So if the client is needing 100,000, technically the bank requires them to have a collateral that is worth or valued at 200,000. So you guys get an idea of that. Now, the items to be collateralized includes houses, cars, stocks, bonds, cash. Now, the other thing is an insurance, because when we get them a key person policy, we can now do a co-sign, no, not a co-sign, an assignment, okay, to the lender. In other words, if something happens, were to happen to them, their insurance will pay out to the lender. So all things are readily convertible into cash to repay the loan. In other words, like an insurance. Okay. So cash flow, the third one, which is usually where the business brings in at least $10,000 a month, and depending on the amount they'll like to borrow, the required cash flow could be higher. So like the MCA, Merchant Cash Advantage Program we just rolled out, that is a cash flow type of financing. Now, this is by far the easiest type of financing, actually. That's why we're able to fund the client in 24 to 72 hours with a merchant cash advance business. So, for example, if you want to borrow $1 million, then you are required usually to bring in a cash flow about 100,000 a month. So if you're making $1 million a year, that's about 80,000 a month. But if you're borrowing $1 million, we the bank usually will require that you're making 100,000 a month. Okay. So what if the bank requires that you have all three C's to get financing through them? What if, Now, if you lack one of the three C's, they will deny you automatically. That's period. So here's where we come in. We help the client get started a business. We can actually put them in an incubator to help them build a business properly, set up their business properly. So if their clients don't have one of the three C's at all and still need financing to grow and expand a business, we are here to help them and get them access to, the funding they need for the business through business credit. Well, business credit is a solution because it is credit in the business's name that is linked to the business's EIN. Remember, the EIN stands for Employer Identification Number, right? So the credit is pertained to the business, not the individual. So when built correctly, the SSN, which is Social Security number, wouldn't be needed on the application at all. So in order to obtain this type of EIN credit, no personal credit check is required, so no inquiries will be made on the client's personal credit score at all. So the business credit is not directly affiliated with the client's social security number. It has no impact on the business owner's personal credit score, and when done properly, the business credit is obtained without the social security number being supplied on the application, like I just mentioned. Now, this means that no credit check will be used to approve the loan or credit line. So this also means that anyone who has bad, horrible credit, personal credit per se, can still be approved for a business credit, which is amazing, right? So 30% of a client's total consumer credit score is based on utilization. You already know that if you know anything about credit. But if they use their personal credit to get credit cards for their business, that would also, lower their credit score because they're using a personal guarantee. Now, using more than 30% of a credit limit will result in score decrease. Now, if the client's limit is about $1,000, having a balance of about $300 lowers their credit. So they need to have the balance left at about $350, not 300, because of the 30% utilization. So this means that 40% of the total score is damaged just by applying and using the credit that is obtained through a consumer credit score. So with true business credit, 0% of their score is affected. 0%. That's how amazing business credit is important, to help a small business owner attain financing for their business. They don't need that personal credit to do it. They need to have, if they have bad credit, we can still work with them, guys. You need to understand that when you're talking to them. So, well, with a personal credit score, they're based on five factors: 35% payment history, 30% utilization, 15% length of the credit history, 10% accumulation of new credit. That's if they get new credit. 10% of that reduces, and credit mixes is at 10%. But business credit works differently. Business credit scores are based on whether the business pays its bills on time. As a result, the business owner can obtain credit much faster and much larger, actually, using business credit versus using a personal credit profile. So, and we, in our Access to Capital program, help them build the business credit profile for free. If you go to a company called the Credit Suite, for example, which is an amazing company, they will charge you about $1,500 to about $2,700 just to build the business credit. We are doing it for free in our Access to Capital program. So we have the Duns and Bradstreet paydex scoring that is on the business credit. So these are based on the payment history. Except payment may come early, you get about 100 points. If the payment is prompt, you get about 80 points. If the payment comes in 14 days beyond the terms of the agreement, it reduces to about 70. If it comes 21 days beyond the agreement, it was just 60, and so on and so forth. So this it's a lot easier to deal with business credit than it is to do with personal credit, especially when it comes to getting funded. So some of the successful companies that use business credit are this: Facebook, Walmart, Apple, Microsoft, etc. Now, every highly successful business in this country, United States of America, has business credit. Just think about that. So most of these companies use the business credit to get as big as they are today, so they get the credit to increase their ability to fund their business. So take a look at as many experienced trade lines are in the United States right now: Facebook, Walmart, Apple, Microsoft. So with Microsoft, they have Experian. Look at that, they have about 40 trade lines. Facebook, and their credit score is good. It doesn't say here, But look at Walmart has about 513 trade lines. Not surprising, right? Microsoft, you guys already know, but they have about 131 trade lines all across the United States. Apple has about 138 trade lines. These are what we actually use to help our clients get the funding they need. Even we also use it to improve their personal credit score as well. So any business can actually use business credit. And contrary to what many might believe, business credit is not only for big companies. Of course not. Any company can build business credit. And big companies are typically the only ones enjoying the benefits of business credit, which is not supposed to be, because they have CFOs who know, how to obtain them, use business credit, where most small businesses don't. This is what we do for our business. This is what we help our clients with in our access to capital program. This is a kind of it could be a standalone, but we kind of inscribed it in the access to capital program to boost the value of the program. So we're going to help them get access to business credit, build a business credit profile, which is amazing. Now, the client absolutely can get their hands on the exact credit lines that these larger companies use to run their business and increase their business. So here's some of the types of funding we help them secure to get their business. It has to be collateralized, cash flow type of requirement, to help them get approved. We help them get business credit cards. We help them get business lines of credit, and we can also help them go niche wise, like auto type of financing, if they're in trucking, it's like a fleet type of financing. We can help them get home reseller type of financing, commercial signage financing, equipment sales, lease back type of financing, auto dealer floor plan type of financing, vehicle wrap type of financing, E2 and EB5 visa type of financing. Even though things are a little stringent right now, but we can still work with the clients to identify the social capital they need for the business. If the business has cash flow collateral, they can be approved for, if they don't have a good personal credit, they could still be approved for purchase order type of financing, depending on the type of business they have. If they have inventory, then this is good for them. Inventory type of financing, account receivable, 401k, commercial real estate, and all that. Now these ones don't require good personal credit. If they have a bad credit, it's fine. So this is some of the things we help them with. So yeah, this brings us to the end of the little training, guys. But we wanted you guys to have an idea. You can rewatch the training to get an idea of what we went through right now, but get an idea of how we help our clients in our access to capital program using business credit as well. So they don't need to have a good personal credit to qualify for financing, because we will use business credit to build their resume. So they can get started today and go on to do their thing. So guys, thank you so much for watching. Have yourselves a wonderful rest of your day. Bye bye.